Every man needs to understand the red flags that signal a woman isn't relationship material. It's very common for women to refer to their exes as the worst thing that ever happened to them, and the intensity will vary greatly dependent on how badly that relationship went for them. But here's what you need to understand. If a woman talks about her exes in a derogatory or malicious way or shows disrespectful behavior towards you or others, then it's highly likely that she has trouble treating men with respect in the relationship. The way she speaks about the men who came before you is a direct preview of how she will speak about you when things don't go her way. It's not about whether the relationship ended badly. It's about how she processes and communicates that ending. A woman who takes no accountability for her role in past failures will do the same with you. Move on and find someone who actually does respect you as a man, your relationship, and others. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." How she reacts to past relationships tells you everything about her character. Number 2 is no self-accountability. It takes a certain level of maturity to be able to come to the realization of your own individual faults and take ownership of them. So, if you find that she constantly blames everyone else for her issues and circumstances while not taking any kind of responsibility for her own actions, she's almost guaranteed to have a difficult time with emotional self-regulation in a relationship. Run, don't walk. A woman who cannot say, "I was wrong" or "I made a mistake" is a woman who will make you the villain in every story. She will never apologize sincerely. She will never learn from her mistakes. She will never grow. And without growth, there is no healthy relationship. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If her thoughts are always focused on blaming others, her soul reflects that. She will see you as the source of her problems, not as her partner. And that is a dynamic that will destroy you from the inside out. Number 3 is lack of commitment. The phobia of commitment has become extremely prevalent in recent years. The praise of hookup culture has in turn demonized and stigmatized commitment. But it's never smart to go off of a possible future and what-ifs with someone. You have to go off of absolutes and certainties. A woman that doesn't have the discernment and self-regulation to control her encounters with men long-term is a huge red flag, because naturally women are more hardwired for commitment than men. When a woman can't commit, when she's always keeping one foot out the door, when she's always looking for the next best thing, she will never be satisfied. She will always be searching, and you will always be left wondering if you're enough. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Don't waste your time on a woman who is afraid to commit. Don't invest your heart in someone who treats commitment like a trap. Find a woman who understands that commitment is not a cage, it's a foundation. Number 4 is effective communication skills. If a woman has difficulty expressing herself clearly, displaying active listening skills, and demonstrating respect for your point of view, even when she doesn't agree with it, that's a big red flag. If she doesn't possess the communicative capabilities that every successful human interaction requires and is built upon, then she's no different than a child. And the outlook of your dealings with her will be extremely stressful. Communication is the bedrock of any relationship. Without it, you are building on sand. A woman who cannot communicate will leave you guessing, will leave you walking on eggshells, will leave you constantly trying to decode her moods and her silences. And that is exhausting. It will drain you. It will make you feel like you're always wrong, always missing something, always failing. Epictetus taught, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." If she can't listen, she can't love. If she can't communicate, she can't connect. And if she can't connect, you will always be alone, even when you're together. Number 5 is judging other men. If everything she focuses on centers around what type of job they have, what type of car they drive, their status. Usually with a woman like this, they'll stick around for a while until somebody else comes along who they feel is better or an upgrade. Essentially, they're extreme opportunists. She's not with you because she loves you. She's with you because of what you provide. And the moment someone comes along who provides more, she will leave. She will not hesitate. She will not feel guilty, because to her, relationships are transactions, not connections. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Don't let her transactional nature make you feel like you have to constantly prove your worth. Your worth is not determined by your bank account or your status. It's determined by your character. And a woman who can't see that is a woman you don't want. Number 6 is jealousy. This could be done in microdoses or megadoses. Small amounts of jealousy can be normal, but excessive amounts of jealousy can indicate insecurity and possessiveness. A woman who is overly jealous will eventually try to control you, who you interact with, and what you do. Jealousy typically starts off in a very covert and passive-aggressive fashion to see how you'll react to it. Here's an example. Let's say you're going out to hang out with some friends. You might catch her saying little things like, "Man, you sure do go out a lot," or "Man, you sure do love hanging around your friends." She also may laugh during or after saying these things in an attempt to lessen the blow, but still get her point across. When jealousy becomes overt and blunt, it can manifest as, "Where were you? Who were you with? Are you cheating on me? I don't trust you." A jealous woman is a highly insecure woman, and no amount of effort on your end will change that. She will never trust you. She will always suspect you. She will always need reassurance. And that need will become a full-time job for you. You will spend your entire relationship proving yourself to someone who will never believe you. Seneca wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence on the future." If she is constantly anxious about the future, constantly worried about what you might do, she is not enjoying the present. She is not happy. And she will make you unhappy too. Number 7 is lack of empathy. When people hear lack of empathy, they automatically think of self-centeredness and the negative connotations attached to it. But self-centeredness is necessary because it precedes self-confidence. So, I believe self-centeredness is beneficial in several instances. However, like everything else, too much of a good thing can turn into a bad thing very quickly. This looks like her having difficulty putting herself in other people's shoes and sympathizing with them. This might look like when you start talking about something that bothered you or something that upset you, she changes the subject and becomes visibly uncomfortable. If she's displaying these traits, it's a setup for a long road ahead of hurt feelings, stress, and anger for you. A woman without empathy cannot truly love you. She cannot understand your pain. She cannot share your joy. She cannot be your partner. She can only be a passenger in your life, not a co-pilot. Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When you share your pain and she reacts with discomfort or dismissal, she is showing you that your feelings don't matter to her. And that is a truth you cannot ignore. Number 8 is attention whoring. Women typically seek attention in 3 different ways. Physical appearance to draw attention to themselves by dressing provocatively or wearing attention-grabbing clothing. Social media to post pictures or updates designed specifically to attract attention and garner likes, comments, and followers. Being overly dramatic and loud, creating conflict in order to get attention and self-victimization. The dangerous part about being with a woman like this is the reputation that she brings along with her. Because once you start associating yourself with her, that reputation is now an issue you have to deal with. If she's unable to represent herself correctly, how do you ever expect her to be able to represent you correctly? A woman who craves attention from other men will never be satisfied with your attention alone. She will always need more. She will always need validation from outside the relationship. And that will leave you feeling like you're never enough, never fulfilling her, never meeting her needs. And that is a bottomless pit. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If her thoughts are constantly focused on external validation, her soul reflects that. She will never be content. She will never be at peace. And she will never be truly yours. We as humans have this innate tendency to overlook major red flags in someone we like. But ultimately, this will come back to bite you in the arse if you let your emotions override your logic. You see the signs, you feel the unease, but you tell yourself it's not that bad. You tell yourself she'll change. You tell yourself you're being too harsh, and you stay, and you hope, and you compromise, and you lose yourself. And then one day you wake up, and you don't recognize the man in the mirror. You've given so much of yourself to someone who never deserved it. You've bent so many of your boundaries that you don't even know where they are anymore. And you realize that the red flags were there all along. You just chose not to see them. Epictetus taught, No great thing is created suddenly, and the erosion of your boundaries, your self-respect, your peace. It doesn't happen suddenly. It happens slowly, one compromise at a time, one excuse at a time, one justification at a time. And before you know it, you've lost yourself entirely. Don't let that be your story. So, what do you do when you see these red flags? You walk away. Not with anger, not with drama, not with a long explanation. You just walk away. You protect your peace. You protect your future. You protect yourself. Because a woman who shows these signs will not change for you. She will not change because you love her enough. She will not change because you give her enough time. She will only change if she wants to change, and that has nothing to do with you. So, stop trying to fix her. Stop trying to save her. Stop trying to be her hero. You cannot save someone who doesn't want to be saved. You cannot fix someone who doesn't think they're broken. You can only save yourself. You can only fix yourself. You can only choose yourself. And that is the most important choice you will ever make. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Don't waste your time, your energy, your heart, your soul on a woman who doesn't deserve it. Don't waste your life on someone who will never be what you need. Because life is short, too short to be with the wrong person. Too short to ignore the signs, too short to settle. So, don't settle, don't ignore, don't hope. Just see clearly, see honestly, see courageously, and walk away. Remember, the right woman will not make you question your worth. She will not make you feel like you're not enough. She will not make you walk on eggshells. She will not make you feel like you're crazy. She will not make you feel like you're always wrong. She will not make you feel like you're losing yourself. The right woman will build you up. She will support you. She will respect you. She will communicate with you. She will be honest with you. She will be faithful to you. She will be your partner, not your burden. She will be your peace, not your chaos. She will be your sanctuary, not your battleground. And she is worth waiting for. She is worth holding out for. She is worth being patient for. But you will never find her if you're stuck with the wrong one. You will never find her if you're ignoring the red flags. You will never find her if you're settling for less than you deserve. So, let go of the wrong one. Let go of the one who makes you feel small. Let go of the one who makes you feel insecure. Let go of the one who makes you feel like you're not enough. And make room for the right one. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When you cultivate thoughts of self-respect, self-worth, and courage, your soul reflects that. And you will attract the kind of woman who respects, values, and loves you for who you are. Not for what you can give her, not for what you can do for her, not for what you can provide, but for who you are. And that is a love worth waiting for. That is a love worth fighting for. That is a love worth protecting yourself for. So, be wise, be strong, be courageous, and never, ever ignore the red flags. With that being said, until the next video, I'll see you guys later.